Trees are one of the most crucial elements to Earth's ecosystem. In the 1990s, the University of Arizona conducted an experiment called Biosphere 2. Its mission was to bring awareness to how trees impact the Earth. The experiment took place on 3.14 acres of an airtight facility located in the desert of Oracle, Arizona. And for 2 years, the trees had to survive solely on their mini artificial environments. However, this experiment ended after just 2 weeks. Based on the study, the main observation scientists made were that although these trees grew very rapidly within the biosphere, many ended up falling down once they reached full maturity. And when scientists took a closer look at the root systems of these trees, they realized one crucial element was missing: wind. Without the stress of wind, the roots and the bark grew weak, and the trees couldn't support their own weight. The trees within the biosphere would have been unable to make a true impact within the real ecosystem. Sometimes we as humans choose to stay in a bubble, a safe box, where we may grow fast, but without much challenge or adversity, and not establishing deep roots. Not only am I a student here at William&Mary, but I am also a goalkeeper on the women's soccer team. As you may know, the goalkeeper is the one position on the field that is allowed to use their hands. However, we can only use our hands within an 18-yard box surrounding the goal. At a young age, I was first coached to be, stay in my smaller 6-yard box within this larger 18-yard box. Coaches would say, stay as close to the goal as possible and you will have the highest chances of saving the shot. However, as I grew up and as I matured, I was then coached to be a little more aggressive. Basically, this involved taking balls out of the air, saving 1v1 shots, and overall being involved outside of both boxes. Currently, at the highest level of collegiate soccer, what separates a good goalkeeper from an excellent goalkeeper is their impact outside of the box. Interestingly enough, the goalkeeper, on average, has the least amount of contact with the ball. Therefore, from the spectator's view, some may think the only impact a goalkeeper has in the game is through saving the shots of the opposite team. However, it's actually the opposite. The most impactful goalkeepers are the ones who can communicate to their teammates the most efficiently. The most impactful goalkeepers are the ones who can play with their feet outside the box and distribute the ball most effectively, creating more offense. I, as a goalkeeper, have learned I am most impactful outside of my box rather than inside, and that my teammates and my team will have the highest chances of winning a game when I can stay rooted that I'm not just a goalkeeper, but one of the 11th players on the field. In essence, if you want to be impactful, leave your box, protect your box, and know where you are rooted. I, as a goalkeeper, have learned that I have to be outside of my box rather than inside. In the same way off the field, I can grow as a person by making an impact by 1, acknowledging the I within your impact, but 2, also acting with a focus on the PACT with an impact. What does that mean? The first step to creating positive change and influencing in your environment is realizing you are in control. Now, being in control doesn't mean that you have control over others or that you want to be controlled by others, but you are mindful of what you can control within yourself. Our personal growth is established by our conscious and self-awareness. Just like I, as a goalkeeper, have to make educated and quick decisions on the field, off the field, I can make very similar decisions that are proactive rather than reactive. Out of the 11 players on the field, the goalkeeper is the one position who is isolated. And if you think about it, isolation kind of sounds like a disadvantage. You're wrong. Isolation is the ability for me to make saves because I'm the only one who can use my hands. Find that advantage that you have been given and use it to make an impact. When you realize you are in control, as I am in control of my choices, my responses, and my growth, you start the first step to making an impact. Change your mindset to be proactive rather than reactive. I, as a goalkeeper, have the choice to make an impact before I have to react. Once you acknowledge the I of your impact now, next to truly accomplish your visions, you must be more empathetic in regards to the pacts you make with those around you. If you make an agreement with others, be true to your word and be influential with what you have been given. Before I went off to college, I saw myself as a highly independent person. I told myself to stand tall and to stand apart, I had to stand low. Well, before I went off to the most exciting ever soccer preseason that's full of unpredictable changes, I found out that my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And yes, my mind began to spiral with all the what ifs, the stress of being away while she took on this journey, and the worry for my younger sisters, my brother, and my dad, how to support my mom through this. This last October, 2 weeks after my mom had a bilateral mastectomy, where they were able to remove all cancerous cells, William and Mary women's soccer team rallied together, and they put on a breast cancer awareness game. They connected with the organization Susan G. Komen for the Cure, dedicated to obtaining funds and spreading awareness for women with breast cancer. And decked out in pink that night, my team didn't just leave their impact on the field, but they left an impact off the field and in the lives of millions of women fighting for their own battle. And again, at that same time, all the way across the country in Denver, Colorado, my sister and my grandma were participating in the Cure for Cancer walk. Again, decked out in pink. And again, at that exact same time, my brother and his college roommates, decked out in pink again, were spreading awareness across this small campus in Springfield, Missouri. I confidently walked into my first semester of college believing I had to internalize what my mom was going through. I said that I had to stay strong through independently staying strong for my mom, when I really wasn't. So I learned to be dependent on others. I learned to share and confide in others, and I learned to build my root systems by intertwining them with those close to me. One color, one purpose, and one team came together. I learned at that moment that the greatest change is done with others, with a common goal across the team. I had to allow others into my box in order for me to leave my box and stay rooted. I had to build my root systems around those, and they are the ones who help me stay rooted even through the wind. When you acknowledge that you have the power, the choice, and the resiliency to act, you begin the first step in making an impact. However, the far greatest change is made when you realize you can collaborate with others and rely on others. Now, if you want to go into the world and make an impact, I'm going to give you 3 things. 1, never be afraid to leave your safe box. As like the trees in the biosphere, their growth was stunted without the outside stress of a greater ecosystem. 2, you are in control of your actions and choices. Be proactive rather than reactive. Again, acknowledge the I was in your impact as the start to realizing you can bring positive change. And finally, 3, your biggest impact by far is greatest when you bring your best, you collaborate with others, and you assume the best in others. There is a reason PACT is the majority of the word impact. Now back to the tree. If a tree can grow, extend its branches to provide shade, shelter, and beauty in its natural habitat, how much more as humans can we do? Extend your branches, open your discussions and face the wind, and stay rooted that you are uniquely impactful and others want to do likewise. We do not need to create a biosphere to grow faster nor learn quicker. We just all need to remember that we are all planted in our own vantage point. Thank you.